In this video, I'm going to share some of my secrets on how to learn a nollie heel flip and switch heel flip in the fastest way as possible. So don't tell anyone about this. Shh. But first, let's start off with the finger position. The first thing is place your index finger either in the nose pocket or right in the center of the nose, but make sure that your index finger stays straight the whole time. And for your middle finger, you want to be setting up in a curl position or slightly flat or even hanging off the edge of the board. Just make sure it stays behind the bolts. Now you got the finger position down, let's proceed to the pop arc. For the most important part of the nollie heel flip and switch heel flip is making sure you're popping the nose straight down. Because if you don't pop the nose straight down, the board will start to rotate in the wrong way. For example, if I don't pop the nose straight down, it might end up looking like a nollie shove it or more like a nollie varial heel flip at some point. Or sometimes the flick happens before the pop, which can mess up the trick by the way. So, the only way to fix this problem is by popping the nose straight down. I repeat, straight down. Now, if it doesn't pop straight down, try adjusting your finger placement on the nose. For example, if I'm not popping the nose straight down, I simply adjust my index finger in the pocket of the nose to make it work. However, if it's not popping in the pocket, I simply move my index finger to the center of the nose. Basically, you're trying to find the perfect sweet spot for your finger placement on the nose of the board. Now I get the popping down, let's proceed to the flicking arc, shall we? So after popping the nose down, that's when you flick your middle finger either off the edge or straight off the tail. Just go with whatever you feel most comfortable for you. For example, if it's not flicking, you can also adjust the placement of your middle finger on the board. You can also curl it or keep it a bit flat or let it hang off the edge. Again, it's all about finding that perfect sweet spot. Now, to make sure you don't get confused with finger placement, I'll give you some of my guidelines for FPI, which stands for Finger Placement Idea. Let's start off with FPI option number 1. Place your index finger in the nose pocket and set your middle finger in the curl position behind the bolts. FPI option number 2 is try placing your index finger in the center of the nose and keep your middle finger slightly flat behind the bolts. FPI option number 3, again, place your index finger in the center of the nose just like in option number 2, but this time, let your middle finger hanging off the edge of the board. And finally, the FPI option number 4 is put your index finger in the nose pocket again, just like in option number 1, and this time, use the same middle finger placement as option number 3, which is hanging off the edge of the board. Now, you choose to decide, and once you pick from the FPI guidelines that I shared, we can now move on to the timing arc. So, in this trick, you need to get the timing right between the pop and the flick of the nollie heel flip. Speaking of a timing, it's actually easier to do this with a switch heel flip than a nollie heel flip, and I'm about to tell you why. Because it's easier to get the timing right with a switch heel flip than a nollie heel flip in my opinion. For example, first, make sure your finger's in the right position on the board, then start rolling gently. Once you got some motion, pop the nose down. As soon as it hits the ground, flick your middle finger to start the flip, then catch it with your both fingers, land it, and roll away smoothly. Alright gentlemen, do me a favor, grab a fingerboard and repeat after me. Roll, pop, and flick. Again, roll, pop, and flick. Again, one more time. Roll, pop, and flick. Now, if you're still struggling or getting confused with the timing, a helpful trick tip is to imagine you're just doing a switch ollie. So don't think of it like you're doing a switch heel flip, just imagine you're doing a simple switch ollie instead. Alright, once you pop the nose down like a switch ollie, that's when you flick your middle finger either off the edge or straight off the tail of the board. It's like you're tricking your brain, you know what I mean? Just pop the nose down like a switch ollie first, then flick your middle finger out of the board, let it flip and rotate, then catch it with both fingers, land it and roll away clean. The same goes to a nollie heel flip. Well, there you have it. I hope this trick tip helps you. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, taught that to you. Itachi Han. You're welcome.